As you watch my videos, you know the focus here, the goal here is to help you better manage the stress in your life so that it doesn't affect you in the most negative ways. Stress is inevitable. We can't get rid of all of the stress in our lives, nor do we want to, because some stress can be beneficial because it'll help us to grow and move forward. But we also need to have a big toolbox of ways of dealing with stress so that stress doesn't take you down, doesn't affect you in a way that affects your health, your quality of life, and your ability to have joy in your everyday experience. A simple way to get yourself out of a stressful situation may be by using your senses. What do I mean? I'll explain in a minute, but let me just say this, that this approach may not be appropriate for every situation. So some discernment is in order here. So remember that, because there are simply some situations that require a different or a more involving intervention. But there are plenty of stressors in our lives that can be tackled by the use of our senses. So let's go through all the different senses and how they can be used to distract yourself from a stressful situation or a stressor. So let's start with sight. When you are dealing with something stressful or something stressful had just happened to you, you could choose to focus your eyes on something specific, preferably something beautiful or something interesting or something that will captivate your attention and maybe bring some joy and pleasure into your life. Maybe it's a work of art, maybe it's a plant, maybe it's a piece of fruit, maybe it's your pet, maybe it's your sleeping baby, but use your eyes, use your sight to focus yourself on something or someone where you are giving your full attention using your sight. Therefore, switching your attention from whatever the stressor was to this newfound focus of attention that you chose. So again, your sight, it's so simple. And remember, things that are simple aren't always easy, but practice makes better. So when you're in a stressful situation, one that allows for such a switch of focus, you can use your sight to look at something that captures your attention, switches your focus to it, and hopefully allows you to enjoy looking at it. You can give it close examination, careful consideration, appreciate its beauty or its intricacy or its simplicity or its cuteness, whatever the case may be. So that's sight. The other simple one is smell. You can certainly find something beautiful or pleasant to smell. Not in every situation, but in many situations. Maybe there are some flowers that you can smell. You know how people say to stop and smell the roses? Well, this is a good example for that. Maybe you can smell some fruit, or maybe you can smell some food cooking, some food that you really enjoy. Or maybe you can simply smell the fresh air outside, or the salty sea if you happen to live or be by some water. So you can definitely enjoy smell. Maybe it's perfume, maybe it's the smell of fresh, clean laundry. There are so many different things that you can certainly find to enjoy in terms of your sense of smell that can, again, shift your focus from a stressful situation or a stressor to a different experience, that of something pleasant in terms of your sense of smell. We can do the same with the sense of sound. So whether it means putting on some music that you enjoy, singing along and maybe dancing, whether it means being still and quiet and listening to the noises or the sounds around you, whether that means going outside and enjoying the sounds of nature. Whatever that means to you, make sure that it's something pleasant, something interesting, and enough of a distraction where you can, again, shift your focus from a stressful situation or a stressor and enjoy something else instead. Your sense of touch can also come to the rescue here, because let's say that you picked an orange. Just for an example, you can look at that orange, you can smell that orange, and you can touch that orange. You can't hear it, but you can touch that orange. You can focus on how it feels to touch it with your fingertips. You can focus on the texture, the roundness of the fruit. You can pick something else. You can touch the bark of a tree and feel the intricacies that are pressed against your hand, against your skin. So again, maybe you can pet your dog or your cat, and you can feel the softness of their fur. Your imagination is your best friend here. Whatever makes you happy, whatever can do the job of distracting you. Maybe you have a particularly soft or fuzzy blanket, and it's a matter of just stroking it and petting it and appreciating the softness of it. Again, don't let yourself be limited, but rather use your imagination. But this is another very simple way of taking your focus and your attention off of a potentially stressful situation or some kind of stressor and switching your state into something much more pleasant. And the last one that I'll talk about here is taste. And again, you can't taste everything, nor should you, but you can use the sense of taste as a way of distracting yourself. And I'm not encouraging anybody to become a stress eater, so be mindful of that. We don't want that. But certainly you can take a piece of chocolate or a strawberry or maybe even something like a mint leaf or a little leaf of parsley and focus on what does it taste like. Maybe a food that you're not commonly enjoying as part of your eating habits, just to feel the taste of it and really focus on it. Now, I'm not going to encourage you ordering burgers and fries and pizza and whatever else that you may use as an excuse. That's not what I'm going for here. Again, we're not looking to do comfort food or stress eating as a distraction. Those aren't necessarily good for you. Most of the time they're not. I'm encouraging you to explore the sense of taste in such a way that truly is an exploration of something new, something different, to allow you to shift your focus from the stress to something more pleasant. So whether that's some kind of food, some kind of drink, maybe it's a matter of focusing on a piece of ice in your mouth and tasting that water as it melts and feeling the sensation of the cold, or maybe some hot tea or coffee, whatever the case may be. But this is yet another sense that you are lucky to have, that you can use to help you switch from a state of being stressed out to a different state, a mere distraction that can help you to get out of a state where you don't want to be. So as you can see, our senses are a very simple tool that may be applicable to use in many different situations. Not all, but many times you can use this. And the idea here is to have as many tools in your stress management toolbox as possible. So I encourage you to give that a try. Let your senses come to the rescue when you are experiencing stress. If you'd like to learn more about a comprehensive approach to stress management, check out the link below.